Do you know what's more dangerous than not making money? It's making money, but watching it slip away because of financial mistakes you didn't even know you were making. The harsh truth is this: most people don't stay broke because they don't earn enough. They stay broke because they keep repeating the same financial traps that silently destroy their freedom. And if you don't fix these mistakes early, you'll spend your entire life working harder and harder only to realize you're running in circles, never escaping the rat race. But here's the good news. Once you know these mistakes, you can avoid them, and the path to financial freedom becomes crystal clear. Today, we're breaking down the 10 biggest financial mistakes that could be silently killing your dreams of freedom. And trust me, by the end, you'll never look at money the same way again. Mistake 1. Living paycheck to paycheck without a plan. One of the most dangerous mistakes is spending exactly what you earn every single month. When your entire paycheck disappears the moment it comes in, you're not just surviving, you're trapping yourself in a cycle of dependency. It means any emergency, whether it's a medical bill, a car repair, or even losing your job, can collapse your entire financial life. Most people think financial freedom comes only from earning more, but in reality, it starts with managing what you already have. Imagine this: if you earn $3,000 a month and spend $3,000, your savings are zero. But if you adjust your habits and save just $500 each month, you create a safety net that grows into opportunity. Living paycheck to paycheck destroys your ability to invest, to plan, or even to dream. Financial freedom begins when you break that cycle by budgeting, cutting unnecessary expenses, and building an emergency fund. Mistake 2. Ignoring the power of compounding. Albert Einstein once called compounding the eighth wonder of the world, and yet millions of people ignore it. The mistake isn't just not investing, it's delaying investing. Every year you wait is costing you tens of thousands of dollars in future growth. Think about it. $10,000 invested at an average 8% return becomes $21,589 in 10 years, but $46,610 in 20 years, and nearly $100,000 in 30 years. That's the snowball effect of compounding. But if you wait 10 years to start, you cut that growth in half. People often say, "I'll invest when I have more money." But that day rarely comes. The truth is, starting small and starting early beats waiting for the perfect time. Ignoring compounding is like refusing to plant a tree because you're worried it's too small today. 10 years from now, you'll wish you had planted it. Mistake 3. Carrying high-interest debt. Credit cards, payday loans, and personal loans may look harmless at first, but they are silent killers of wealth. A credit card with 20% interest means if you owe $10,000 and only pay the minimum, it could take you decades to clear the debt, and you'll pay more in interest than the original loan itself. Debt with high interest works against you. It compounds negatively, trapping you deeper every month. Most people make the mistake of thinking they can manage debt, but what they're really doing is feeding a financial parasite. Financial freedom is impossible if the money you work for is always being redirected to lenders. The key is to prioritize debt repayment like your life depends on it, because in many ways your financial life does. Pay off high-interest debt aggressively before dreaming of investments, because otherwise your wealth will always flow backward. Mistake 4. Lifestyle inflation. Spending more as you earn more. You got a raise, a bonus, or maybe you started earning more in your business. But instead of saving or investing, you immediately upgraded your car, moved into a bigger house, or started dining out more. That's lifestyle inflation, and it's one of the biggest destroyers of long-term wealth. People believe financial freedom comes from higher income, but in reality, it comes from controlling expenses. If every raise you get is matched with a higher expense, you're still stuck in the same financial position. The tragedy is that most people earn more over time but feel no richer because they're constantly chasing status symbols. True wealth is measured not by what you spend, but by what you keep. The rich build assets. The middle class builds liabilities that look like assets. If you want freedom, fight the urge to inflate your lifestyle every time your income grows. Mistake 5. Not having multiple streams of income. Depending on one source of income, whether it's your job, your small business, or even a freelance gig, is a fragile strategy. One change in the economy, One bad decision by your employer, or one sudden disruption in your industry can wipe out your entire income overnight. The wealthy understand that freedom comes from diversification, not dependency. Whether it's investments, side hustles, rental properties, or digital income streams, multiple sources of money create a safety net and open doors to faster growth. People often think they don't have time to build more than one income source. But the truth is, you can start small. A side hustle earning just $200 a month might not sound like much, but it's the seed that grows into a financial shield. Not building multiple income streams keeps you chained to uncertainty. Building them unlocks stability and eventually freedom. Mistake 6. Neglecting financial education. One of the most overlooked mistakes is not investing in your own financial knowledge. People spend years studying for a job or career, but rarely spend even a few hours learning how money really works. The truth is, the financial system is designed in a way that rewards those who understand it and punishes those who don't. If you don't know the difference between assets and liabilities, if you don't understand how taxes impact your income, or if you've never learned how to read a financial statement, then you're already at a disadvantage. Lack of knowledge makes you vulnerable to bad investments, to financial scams, and even to lifestyle choices that drain your wealth. Think about it. People spend hours scrolling on social media but won't spend 30 minutes a day reading a finance book, watching educational content, or taking a course. That choice creates a lifetime of struggle. Financial education isn't optional. It's the foundation of freedom. Without it, you'll always work harder than you need to, and you'll never truly control your financial destiny. Mistake 7. Ignoring taxes and legal structures. Most people only think about taxes once a year, when it's time to file. But wealthy people plan for taxes every single time they earn, invest, or spend. Ignoring how taxes affect your money is one of the costliest mistakes you can make. For example, if you earn $100,000 but don't structure your income wisely, you might lose 30% or more to taxes. On the other hand, if you use legal tax-advantaged accounts, business structures, or investment strategies, you can save tens of thousands. The mistake isn't just paying taxes, it's overpaying because you didn't plan. Rich people don't avoid taxes illegally. They minimize them intelligently. They know the rules and they play by them. The average person, however, avoids financial planning and ends up working longer just to pay the government more than necessary. Taxes are your single biggest expense in life, bigger than rent, food, or even debt. If you're not planning around them, you're letting your freedom slip away. Mistake 8. Relying too much on job security. Jobs feel safe, but in reality, they're fragile. Most people make the mistake of relying entirely on their employer for income, benefits, and retirement. But ask yourself this: how secure is your job really? One market downturn, one corporate restructuring, or one bad quarter, and you could be laid off. The pandemic taught us this lesson brutally. Millions of people lost their safe jobs overnight. Relying too much on job security keeps you in a position of weakness because someone else controls your income. Even worse, many people tie their entire identity to their career. So when the job disappears, so does their sense of purpose. Financial freedom requires independence. It doesn't mean you quit your job. It means you build assets and alternative income so your survival isn't tied to someone else's business decisions. If your entire future depends on your boss's approval, you don't own your life. You're renting it. Mistake 9. Not building an emergency fund. Here's a painful truth. Life is unpredictable. Yet most people live as if everything will always go according to plan. They ignore the one financial shield that could save them during a crisis: an emergency fund. Without savings for emergencies, even a small problem can become a financial disaster. A broken car, a sudden illness, or even a temporary job loss can force you into debt, ruin your credit, or wipe out your future savings. People say, "I'll start an emergency fund later," but emergencies don't wait for your convenience. The peace of mind that comes from knowing you have 3 to 6 months of expenses saved cannot be replaced. It's not just about the money, it's about freedom from panic. Without an emergency fund, you're always one accident away from financial collapse. With one, you gain control, stability, and confidence to face whatever comes. Mistake 10. Not setting clear financial goals. The final mistake is drifting through life without a financial roadmap. Most people work hard, save a little, spend a lot, and hope things somehow work out in the future. But hope is not a strategy. Without clear financial goals, whether it's buying a house, retiring early, starting a business, or achieving a certain net worth, you'll always wander aimlessly. Think about it. If you don't set a target, how do you know if you're winning or losing? Wealthy people don't stumble into success by accident. They design it. They write down goals, create timelines, and measure progress. When you lack goals, you waste money on things that don't matter because you don't know what you're aiming for. Financial freedom doesn't happen randomly. It's built intentionally. And the first step is clarity. Define your destination, create a plan, and follow it relentlessly. Without goals, you'll live your life reacting. With them, you'll live your life creating. So now you know the 10 biggest financial mistakes that silently destroy your freedom. The question is, what will you do with this knowledge? Because knowing isn't enough. Most people will hear this, nod their heads, and go right back to the same habits that keep them stuck. But if you're listening this far, I know you're different. You want freedom. You want control over your money instead of money controlling you. Financial freedom doesn't come from luck. It comes from choices. The choice to stop living paycheck to paycheck. The choice to invest early and let compounding work for you. The choice to build multiple income streams, to learn about money, to plan and to protect yourself. Every decision you make either brings you closer to freedom or pushes you deeper into chains. And here's the powerful truth. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to start. Even small changes, saving a little more, cutting a single debt, setting one clear goal, can transform your entire future. 10 years from now, you'll either look back with regret and say, I wish I had started, or you'll look back with pride and say, I'm so glad I did. So take action today. Don't let another year slip by repeating the same mistakes. Start your emergency fund. Create your first investment. Write down your goals. Because financial freedom isn't a dream, it's a plan. And the moment you take responsibility, your plan begins. If this message gave you value, then commit to yourself right now. Make one change today. And if you want to go even deeper, don't stop here. Watch our next video where we'll break down the power of compounding, how it can turn even small amounts into life-changing wealth if you understand how to use it. Your financial freedom starts today. The only question is, will you take the first step? Remember this, money is either your greatest servant or your most brutal master. The choice is always yours. Every rupee, every dollar you spend or save is a vote for the kind of life you want to live. Don't let mistakes decide your future. Decide it yourself. Because at the end of the day, financial freedom isn't just about money. It's about the power to live life on your own terms.